What's going on, Eagles Nation? Welcome to today's episode of Bird Buzz. Stephen Hellmann here, flying solo. Yeah, you guys got a lot of questions this week. Got a lot of new people this week, which is what I love. I love to see, the subscribers. There's been a slight uptick in the subscribers on YouTube, so thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate the support. Tom really appreciates the support. So just awesome getting on here talking birds with you guys. So anyone who subscribes, anyone who checks out the videos, definitely subscribe. Content's always coming, but seriously, it's just fun. I don't care. It's been just as fun since we have 1 subscriber, since we have 280. It'll be just as fun if we have 280 million. Doesn't really matter. The point is, I love talking birds with you guys, and this is a blast. And Bird Bus especially is my favorite thing to do every single week because I just love talking birds with you guys. And I'm going to spare the introductions really because there are a lot of questions. But yeah, so we're just going to roll through them right now. Let's see what we got here. Brandon Alicia asks, welcome to the show, Brandon. He asks, will Ryan Matthews be healthy for Week 5? Yeah, he's supposed to play. I don't know how much. I think they're definitely going to explore the running back by committee role, but Doug Peterson said that Matthews is the feature back in this offense, but I do think that they're going to let some other guys get some carries just based on how they did against the Steelers. Next question, J. Devlin Philly asks, do you think the Eagles will bring up Paul Turner this year? I'm going to say no, just because, the Eagles have really, they've been running a lot of, 2 tight end sets, using those guys. So even Huff hasn't really been able to get involved. And it's not that he hasn't been playing well. It's just he hasn't really been on the field that much. So they're having a really hard time just to get 4 receivers on there. So if you bring up Paulie T, that's kind of the 5th guy. And I just don't know if this offense really warrants a 5th receiver a lot of the time. So I don't see him getting brought up this year, but maybe next year, because I don't think Huff's going to be back next year. I really don't. No discredit to him, but I think they're going to try and, work with these 3 receivers, maybe bring in another guy, and then you could see Paulie T next year for sure. At Yeezus Eagles Chulo asks, do you think the Eagles will make it to the Super Bowl this year? Super Bowl. I'm going to say no, but it's definitely not impossible. Definitely not impossible. The Panthers are 1-3, who I do believe are going to turn around. But the Cardinals, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. I just don't think that they have it in them. And you have Seattle, it's always good. So the way I see it, you got the Vikings. I put the Vikings and Seattle in front of us right now, and I'm not counting the Panthers out. I'm going to put the Panthers just in line with us. I know they're 1-3, but after what they had last year and knowing just what they're capable of, you're not really sure with them. Falcons, not really sold on them yet. So I got the Vikings and Seattle as the top 2 teams, and then we're tied for 3rd with the Panthers in the NFC. That's how I see it right now. It's Miles S. When do we get our first L? I think the Vikings might be the team that beat us first. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a very competitive, it's going to be a fun game. I agree. I think that is going to be the first game. A lot of people are looking at, this game as, trap game, if you will. I don't want to steal anyone's thunder in next questions, but, there really hasn't been. There's no legit. The reasons that the people are giving for us to lose this game against the Lions are just, it's a trap game. The Eagles are due for a loss. What does that mean? There's no legitimate reason why the Lions should beat us. They have people out there, people injured. Their offense isn't that spectacular. Their defense isn't very good. They're across the board. We're probably better in almost every facet in the game. So I don't see why there's a reason other than, the Eagles are just, they're due for a loss. There should be a letdown. No, I don't buy it. There's no reason that the Eagles should lose this game. It's not they're due for a loss. You know what? In high school, I was due to get a girlfriend because, I just couldn't get anyone. But that didn't happen. Just because I was due for it didn't mean that it was going to happen. You know what I mean? It doesn't work right. Sometimes you're due for a loss, but there's no reason why the Lions or myself in high school had any business getting a girlfriend because, one, we just weren't good enough, we weren't big enough, we weren't strong enough, we weren't fast enough, and that's why the Lions aren't going to beat us. That's why I couldn't get a girlfriend in high school. It's that simple. Wasn't good enough. Was not good enough. I just said that's the only analogy I can think of. I had to go there, but it is true. Both of those things are true. At that Ninja Zayas, who is the X factor for Sunday's game? That's a good question, man. I'm going to say Jordan Hicks because I think he's going to have the task of shutting down Theo Riddick. Not that I think Theo Riddick's going to light it up, but he's the guy that can definitely make some plays on that team. Eric Ebron's supposed to be out there, big tight end. So, I think Jordan Hicks is definitely the X factor you're going to look for in the game for sure. At Al Shoot asks, what player is playing the best, and are we going to end up first in the NFC East? Player that's playing the best. You kind of have to go with Carson Wentz, but You could argue. You could definitely say Brandon Graham. He's been an absolute beast. You could say Fletcher Cox. He's been drawing so many double teams. It's insane. They literally have to double this guy every play. I don't even know how he's getting in these sacks. He's getting double every play. Fletcher Cox is playing out of his mind. So, but I'm gonna give it to Carson Wentz just because the quarterback is the popular answer, but he's been lights out. What would be first place in the NFC? Yeah, absolutely. 10-6. 10-6. I said at the beginning of the year. I think we could be that now. I think we can do 11. We might be able to do 11-5 now, but 10-6 is definitely enough to win the division. At Ray Rivera 9 asks, so far, what position do you see us addressing in the draft? I think the first round they're going to go corner, and then I'm going to say the second round they go tackle. Depending on what they do with Peters, that's the thing. I can't believe Peters hasn't been hurt yet. Knock on. I don't even have any wood, but knock on wood, like Doug Peterson did at his press conference the other day, but. I do think that early in the draft you go corner and you probably go, offensive lineman like a tackle. I think you go offensive lineman first. That's just me. But if you get best available corner or offensive tackle, I think that's what you got to get. And also they're going to try and address the linebacker position as well. Everywhere else you're kind of set. You could use a top flight receiver, but I think you're pretty good in those spots right now. So offensive line, tackle, linebacker are our biggest needs. I feel like. At Fasciato, is that Fasciato, is that how you say it? I don't know. If you see the video, comment, phonetically spell out your handle, buddy. Will the Eagles ever go back to Kelly Green? Man, I hope so. I miss it. It's weird that we say Kelly Green, but I don't even think that Chip Kelly, we even wore the Kelly Green when Chip was here. Not in my recollection. The last recollection I have of the Kelly Green is the Kevin Cobb era, which was 2010. It lasted for about a quarter, and then Mike Vick came in. We were playing the Packers week 1. I was actually at that game, but they looked so sick in those green uniforms. I loved it. So I would not mind them bringing it back once in a while. Jay Brad, Justin Bradley 13 asks, is one the Smallwood Shady 2.0? He might be. I mean, I definitely think I think he's in there. He's definitely Darren Sproles 2.0. Is he Shady 2.0? I don't know. I gotta see more of the guy. But everything I've seen looks good. He's small. He moves around. I'm loving everything I see right now. I think it's too soon to say, but if he's Shady 2.0, but I definitely want to see him get more involved and see what he can do because he looked good. Solely 20, is Philly winning the Super Bowl? If you're talking about this year, I'm going to say no, but I do think in the next 5 years, write it down, the Eagles will win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. No doubt. I don't know if I'm thinking more towards 3, but I do think they will win one. But this year, I don't know. I think with the Vikings, Seattle, and the Panthers, you have those teams are gonna be, and the Packers are always relevant. That's just the NFC, and then the AFC, the Patriots, the Steelers look really good. I know we whacked the Steelers, but the Steelers look really freaking good. And then the Broncos are always there too. So even to get to the Super Bowl, whoever gonna play is gonna be a really good team. At Bradley Quinn 80s, will Nigel Bradham be cut in the next 3 weeks? I'm going to say no. Doug Peterson said, guys just got to be smarter. And honestly, fortunately for Bradham, we are so thin at linebacker in terms of depth that we really can't cut this guy. We really can't. We kind of have to keep him. And I know the guy's an idiot. The guy is an idiot. I will say that he definitely needs some supervision. He's like a child. The things that he does, and he needs to stop going to Miami because clearly bad things happen for him there, but I don't see him being cut. I think he really does just need to make smarter choices. Jeremy DePietro asks, is it true Brown got charged for second-degree assault and might face jail time? The second-degree assault is true. I don't think he's going to face jail time, but if I do, I think it's going to be like a 30-day sentence that he would probably serve in the off-season. I looked up second-degree assault in the for Florida, and it doesn't look like it's going to be that severe. And also he is an athlete, so they kind of get off the hook with stuff. And not like he really did anything too wrong. No one was threatened. So I will think he'll be all right. He'll get hit with a big fine, but I don't think it's going to be anything too bad. It's not going to affect him this year. But I did a little Law and Order, and I kind of looked it up. So I think he'll be all right. But he could serve a tiny bit of jail time in the offseason, but I doubt it. At Bill Eberling 28 asks, will this game between the lines be a trap game for the Eagles? I'm saying no. I thought it would have been if we didn't have this bye week. Because, you're coming off of week 3 against the Steelers. You're going to be all high and hyped up. But, I don't think the Lions are good at all. The Lions have looked really, really bad against really, really bad teams. And the Eagles have looked just lights out all year. I just don't see the Eagles not being ready for this game, especially after the bye week, especially if the Eagles have revenge on their mind from last year. And you got Jim Schwartz, who used to coach that team, so he's going to be piped up too. So I think you got a lot of factors at play here, and the Eagles are just a better team. I love the Eagles coming in with this extra week in the bye week to prepare for these guys, and I just think that the Eagles do get it done. At SmithBoy93 asks, what's your score prediction? Do you think DGB will have a huge game against the Lions? I'm going to go with the DGB question first. I think he is going to have a decent game. I think he gets a touchdown this week. He's just, when he learns to play, he is such a physical mismatch. At 3rd and 18 throw that Carson had, at 3rd and 8, let's say 3rd and 18-ish. He just threw it up to DGB. He didn't have that much separation from the guy, but he's just so big. And then when he jumps in the air to go up and get the ball, I'm sorry, when a 6'5" receiver, probably going up against like a 6'1" corner, there's no way that cornerback's gonna be able to get the ball from DGB. If he jumps up in the air and goes get the ball, snags the ball there, no one's able to stop him. I think he just presents such a physical mismatch, let alone on size. Not to mention the guy's a good athlete. He runs around. He hasn't really dropped any passes. So I do think as the season progresses, he's going to get better and better and better. And what's my score prediction? I'm going to say, give me 30-13. 30-13. I think we're up by 10. I'm going to say we're up. Let's say we're up 17. I'm going to say 17-7 at the end of the first half, and then the Eagles just go nuts. And the Eagles go nuts in the second half, and they pull away like they always do. But I think it'll be, 10-point game at the end of the first half, and then we'll run away with it at the end. And then next question, Deshaun asks, biggest need in 2017 draft. Oh my God, did I answer your question already? I'm still gonna answer your question. Don't get me wrong. Oh, okay. Ray Rivera stole your thunder with his draft question. Okay. Biggest need. I'm gonna say tackle. I know the Eagles want a corner, but I do think that offensive line, you got to shirt up, because I don't know if Jason Peters is gonna be back next year. And you're gonna move Lane over to left, so you're gonna need a tackle. And you drafted Big V this year. He's a 5th rounder. I'm not sure what. I think he's a player that takes a year or two to develop. So I love the idea of getting a tackle or a guard, because he had Alan Barberry at left guard this year. So he's while he's playing well this year, he's never been a full-time starter. So I don't know if you can really count on that. You have Sam Malu too, you drafted in the 3rd round this year to try and develop. So I think if you can get a guard or a tackle, left guard you need, or a right tackle is you're going to need. So I'd rather get that than a corner in the 1st round. That's just me. But if there's a good corner they can get with probably like the late 20-something pick, because that's where the Vikings are going to fall, I think that's what you're going to have to do. But my biggest need is definitely offensive line right now. So thank you for joining me, guys. I will see you for the rant on Sunday after what I believe will be an Eagles victory. I mean, we got to feel confident, guys. The only reason people are saying we're going to lose this game is because we're due for a loss. And that's just what we have to worry about them. We are better than the Lions across the board on every single facet. We got revenge on our mind. I don't see how the Eagles lose this game. I think they have time to prepare. And, obviously I'm nervous. I'm nervous for every game. But I do think the Eagles win this game and moving forward. I mean, I love this team. And you know what? To only have to go 10 they got to go 7-6 on stretch to go 10-6 and probably win the division. I love that. I think they're going to do that. I think they might be able to get 11-5 now. And maybe, just maybe, because Seattle's a tough schedule, that you get that number 2 seed and you get a bye. You never know, but that's my bold prediction. I think the Eagles can get that bye week just based on their schedule. So thank you for joining me, guys, and great. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and then Sunday, we're gonna go. So go Birds,